who would like to say something about their experiences on Merlin or about their experiences sailing with Bill and Lou, come on up here. Bill, you have any thoughts from your sail in '77 you want to share?
Yeah, one story about your trip.
Well, at the start of the '77 race, there were 5 boats in the hunt for first to finish. First to finish is the big deal for Transpac. They got a great big carved koa wood barn door. That's the big deal. 5 boats in the hunt for first to finish. Windward Passage, Kilo 3, Ragtime, Merlin, Drifter. Windward Passage and Kilo 3, they were 100,000-pound buckets with 100-foot masts. And then Ragtime and Drifter and Merlin, they were 68-foot boats with 70-foot masts that weighed 25,000 pounds instead of 100,000 pounds. So the race is on. And after we left the west end of Catalina, we did not see another race boat until we got to Hawaii. And every day, once we got going, the light boats, Merlin and Drifter, got away from the other ones. And it was in the days of sextant navigation, no GPSs. So you sort of knew where you were. And our navigator, Don, he'd tell us, if the sun comes out, wake me up. And so we had to record our position as of 8 o'clock Pacific Daylight Time. Well, as you get closer and closer to Hawaii, that becomes, the sun isn't up yet. So all you're going on is the day before's noon position. And Don had plot us on the chart, we'd call in our position, and the other boats would call in the Royal Polar Republic, and we were first. And this is wonderful. And then we'd get to noon, and Don would say, well, I got a new noon shot, and we didn't go as far as we thought we would, and I've got to put you back 30 miles. And then we're not in first anymore. Day after day after day. And the last day, we're 14 hours out of Hawaii, and this Coast Guard plane flies over, and it's like really windy. I mean, I figured out the most important job for me is don't fall off the boat. And this Coast Guard plane flies over, circles us, and there's a picture that captures the moment of the bow of the boat underwater in this squall. And that picture's around, it's on the internet, it's blurry, but it captures the moment. So we don't know where Drifter is, the other boat. Every day we've been in front, and then the navigator sets us back. So the Coast Guard plane circles us a couple times, and they leave us, and they take off abaft our beam. We got him, because the Coast Guard plane could see him, but we couldn't. And sure enough, later in the day, Drifter did come into view behind us, and we slowly converged down to Molokai. And then at Molokai, there's a jibe. It's like really, really windy. And sure enough, here's another boat, 20-odd minutes behind us, and we say, the first rule of match racing is if you're in front, don't screw up. And the other rule of match racing is if you're behind, take chances. So,
Chicken jive.
we just did a chicken jive. Take one spinnaker down, jive the mainsail, put the other spinnaker up, and we flushed Phil Vandenberg down the foredeck hatch in the process. But we jived, got going again. We looked back, watched Drifter. Well, they took their chances, put the spreaders in the water, got it going again. And we beat him across the line by 17 minutes, and the next boat by 22 hours. And since then, I think the boat has made, 19 Pacific crossings, 15 Transpacs, I think 13 Transpacs, and then Pacific Cups and Vic Maui's. So, Somebody else's turn.
Yeah, Bill. Woo!